The Equipment Reinforcer in Rimworld is probably one of my favourite mods of all time. Not because it's balanced, not because it adds a depth of gameplay that you won't see anywhere else, not because it adds a storyteller that's really interesting, but because I can make something that's just not very good absolutely broken out of my mind. I like the idea that I can take like a stone chunk here, throw it in the Equipment Reinforcer, and turn it into the most powerful weapon of all time. I like the idea that I could grab Benito, who's our chainsaw-wielding, sword-wielding, four-armed beast, give him a chicken nugget, and probably get him to kill someone with it if I put it in the Equipment Reinforcer. That is why the Equipment Reinforcer is my favourite mod of all time within Rimworld, and it's probably made this episode probably one of the most excited I am to record this series for quite a few episodes now. Welcome to Randy's Revenge episode 18, and yes, the plan for today is Equipment Reinforce, Equipment Reinforce, Equipment Reinforce. We're going to go through all of our colonists, and we're going to slowly go through all of their weapons and upgrade them to the max. I'm talking we're just going to go absolutely butt wild with it. I'm going to get Merv to go on the drills to get as many resources as we can and do all those good things. So, if you enjoy any of today's episode and are excited to see someone like Beach with a hatchet become our strongest colonist, consider liking, subscribing. Make sure you tell your mum about it. Let's get into things, and let's start by checking our resources. Now, in order to start this, we're going to do with Amelia. Amelia is going to be the first colonist that we're going to start reinforcing her weapon. She's got a kinetic pistol, and she requires advanced components, gold, and plasteel to reinforce this. Now, I have been slowly building up our stockpile of all these things, so we have got a reasonable amount. But so far, we can only reinforce this a certain amount of times. The big cost for this one is going to be advanced components. Massive cost, realistically. But to make a kinetic pistol really, really good, I think all we need to really do is probably increase the armor penetration and maybe accuracy. It already has an insanely quick range cooldown and aiming time, so armor penetration, and probably that's about it, honestly, and short range accuracy. But unfortunately, we can't increase just armor penetration. It's not how this thing works. It doesn't come as an option, but what we can do is the damage multiplier, which, we'll just, queue up a few. And the next person's weapon that we need to be improving is theoretically going to be Harry, but Harry's weapon is so expensive to maintain and to upgrade, I don't think I'm actually going to do that one next. Instead, I'm going to do Sam. Sam is running a anti-material rifle, a Barrett 50 cal. Something about a fully automatic Barrett 50 cal does make me a little bit excited. Now, for the Barrett 50 cal, we need to use steel and components. 25 components, though, so it is still quite expensive. And we do have the ability to reduce the ranged cooldown, which at the moment is 3.8 seconds, which is very, very long. We can't reduce out the aiming time, because that's going to be down to Sam himself. So let's just reduce the ranged cooldown. Let's get this thing firing fully automatic. And we have a growth moment for Wolf. Finally, Wolf has grown of age to be slightly more usable. She has reached the biological age of 7 and has experienced a growth moment. Same as what probably happened to John. Wherever John is, John has also experienced a growth moment. So she can now do lots of different things, and we can apparently select a trait from Brawler, Misandrist, or Couch Potato. Brawler would be probably quite interesting. Theoretically, she is a Yitkin, which is a dog person. You know what? That fits quite nicely. I quite like that. And a performance is apparently starting. Who's putting on a performance? Whoa, what is going on? Holy, that is a performance. Everybody's crowding around the demon woman, who is apparently performing stand-up comedy. Whoa, okay. Nothing better than when our sexy demon lady performs stand-up comedy. Wow, so many emotions. It's a very interesting stand-up comedy show. Are they enjoying it? And the act has finished. It was good fun. +3 in mood. What a fantastic comedy show that my put on. And as a result, they've become prude. What? Okay. Fair enough. Alright. Yeah, I mean, that must have been a pretty dramatic comedy show for you to become prude. Fair enough. Whatever then. And I've just spotted on the map this lovely little guy, this lovely little friend here, a war urchin. Now, these come out of the War Queen, which is in Biotech, and it's just appeared out of nowhere, right? It turns out it's immortal. Nice. I've got no idea what we're going to do with this. So I guess we're going to kill it. We're going to smelt it. We're going to burn it up and eat it. I've decided to get Riku to come out here and deal with it as our newfound friend. There we go. Riku has killed it. Now, he can apparently behead this war urchin, but, you know, I'm not sure how that works. Okay, we have beheaded it, and we have the severed head there. Nice! Congratulations. So, can we now... Yeah, we can put that back in the Immortalis extractor and work towards making people immortal, which is not going very well. Oh, and very interestingly, 2 more have become immortal. The War Queen herself and a Scyther have become immortal. Just the War Queen left to deal with. It should be easy peasy for Jezebel with a practically one-hit kill weapon here. How much damage is it doing this time round? Not too much. It's still not, like, really, really good. Like, the dagger does a good job against any lesser enemies, but not, like, really, really powerful enemies, which I think is fine for balancing purposes. And there we are. Another brain. And also another power focus chip. Kind of overpowered that I could have farmed those, but hey. Another project that I think we can start working on alongside equipment reinforcing is making Hickory an absolute badass. And by that, we're going to be starting to mutate him physically and bionically, you know? What's more scary than a bionically improved Boomalope crossed with a human, you know? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to see what I can give him, basically, and just chuck everything into him. I think he has access to pretty much all the human bionics, mainly because he's probably spliced with a human. So I think I'm just going to give him the same as any old human. I'm not sure if this is going to make him more powerful, or if I'm just going to waste my time, but... You know, Hickory deserves it. He's done a lot for the colony. So I've got Hickory to go through a few operations now. We're going to make him a little bit more powerful. It's probably slightly overkill giving a Boomalope crossed with a human 51 operations. But you got to bear in mind, he has 4 legs. That's 2 more operations than a normal human, you know? I don't think this is going to necessarily fix him. It will fix his spine. It will fix his right eye. The brain injuries, I still don't know how to fix, unfortunately. But I have found a way around this. If he can get back up, it isn't very fast. I have found a way that we can still make use of him. And I'll show you guys when that operation's done. And seeing as May put on oh my god, I'm going to have to change your name. I'm sorry, Misha. So her name is Misha. There we go. So, because Me has been so good at putting up stand-up comedy shows for everybody, I've made the decision that she is now going to be our new Junkrat, which is the moral guide. You know, she's following after Cole. She's following after Barry. She's following after the greats of this colony, and hopefully... Me keeps up with it. Okay, so I have just checked quickly as well to make sure there is a way that we can fix Hickory's brain damage. And there is a way that we can do it. It's locked behind a lot of research, which we're actually kind of on the way to getting. So it brings me hope. We will be able to fix Hickory at some point. We have a trader come in, a medical supplies caravan. Low-key, kind of big. This is going to allow us to actually, you know, get some more medicine and stuff so we can get on with the operations on Hickory. Because at the moment, we're on a slight pause of that because we've ran out of medicine. And it means we can sell things as well. And, ooh, mining a trader from the caravan of Ernsk. We'll trade with these people as well and see if we can make some money off them. Okay, so the medical traders that we've got coming in, I'm buying a few bits and pieces off them, mainly just the medicine, funnily enough. And that is going to be about it. I'm not selling them a few things, just a few bits and pieces that are equivalent to the wealth of 46,000 silver. Let's accept that trade and we can get straight back in to doing more surgeries. And the next trader we've got has got things for us that we need. Steel. I've never been so desperate for steel in my life. Despite having everybody working on deep drills, we are struggling to keep up with upgrades. But we'll get 488 steel, which will help out a little bit. Otherwise, they haven't got too much for us. But it gives us an opportunity to just sell some stuff. We've also very conveniently found ourselves a few skill trainers in art. I think there is roughly about 12 here. I'm going to get May absolutely loaded up on them. She's already at art level 16. Jesus Christ, that's ridiculous. We're going to load her up on these so she can crack out some just really good artwork for us, and that will mean that she can perform really good comedy shows, I think. Okay, so this seems really, really forbidden, but May, who is a sexy demon lady, now has 43 in art. definitely balanced and will definitely not result in the colony wealth absolutely skyrocketing. She does also have a expertise as well in art. Now, we could go for quantity and increase the skill. Or we go for quality, which gives an art quality bonus. But because her art is already at 43, I don't think that's going to be an issue. So we're going to actually increase the speed she produces it at, because the quality is going to be absurd anyway. Next thing I've noticed is that Merv has mined up these things called neuromod boosters. From what the description tells me, it says that it just improves all your skills. That's basically all that says there. Doesn't sound broken in any way, I'm sure of it. Let's grab Merv and just get him to suck them all up, you know? I mean, what's the harm? There's no way we can't make Merv any more broken. So at the moment, his stats are pretty good across the board. And they've just gained in 2 across the board. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Merv, I'm about to make you the most powerful creature in existence. Okay, so I'm no longer allowed to use the neuromod boosters because Merv don't need any more skill learning. Why does that sound so sassy? Just like, why? Merv, you are now slightly improved. He has got 20 across the board in every single stat as a minimum, with shooting and melee being at 21. Oh, Merv. Oh, Merv. You're just too good now. Just the perfect character. And it is that time again as well to give Tuna a brand new sidetrack power. Now, the only one that I've got so far that I'm actually interested in is this one called Firebeam. That, funnily enough, tells me what it's going to do. Let's give that to Tuna to learn, and let's try it out. Okay, so we can now use Firebeam, and unfortunately, we don't have enough neural heat to use this, which tells me this is going to be quite powerful. Firebeam attempts to recreate the power of a star inside the concentrated column of an almost liquidized oxygen. The resulting emission of plasma is so powerful that only the most advanced weapon systems can hope to compare. The long, intense concentration ends with the caster falling into a 6-hour coma. Ooh, that does sound a little bit powerful, you know. The first Mechanoid cluster from the quest that we accepted last episode has arrived. Time to test. How big is it? Not very big is the answer. Not very big at all. Oh, is that it? Really? Jesus Christ. Okay, well, that's really, really anticlimactic. Now, I have been reinforcing the anti-material rifle and the plasma pistol as much as I humanly can. The only issue we've got is resources, so we've managed to reinforce the kinetic pistol 23 times, and the anti-material rifle we've only been able to reinforce 11 times about how expensive it is. But let's give it a go, you know, let's assemble Jezebel, Amelia, and Sam, and give it a go. So, I mean, so far, I'm looking at this, and the only thing I'm sensing is it hasn't actually made much difference. Jezebel is unbelievably good. Sam's sniper rifle isn't actually that good. Kind of disappointed. Let's have a look and see how much damage it does. So we've got this auto charge turret. It's got 180 health. Sam has shot it once and done just a little bit of damage to it. This is really just not what I expected. And there we are. The mech cluster has been destroyed, and that was the most anticlimactic thing I've ever done in Rimworld. There I was thinking that this was going to be some big battle and it was going to send me loads of mechanoids, but no, it just kind of was a bit of inconvenience, really, and that was about it. Perfect. Well, cheers, Rimworld. So with that in mind, the one thing that I've gained from that little situation there was not only are our weapons just not that reinforced or good yet, is the amount of resources this is going to cost in the long run. I've got not really much idea on how to fix that other than use more deep drills. So I guess we'll just see how it goes, honestly, and just do my best to work on it. We are constantly making more components entirely, which is taking a lot of our resources. It's a tough one. It is a tough one. We need to get more resources. How do we get more resources? Get more people. But why do we get more people when it will just lag the game out massively? It's a tough one. We'll see how it goes. Ooh, and I've noticed as well that Hickory is no longer in hospital. That means Hickory is awake. Oh dear. So, welcome to the brand new and improved Hickory. Hickory has been improved. Just a little bit. You know, we've even included some Nerotonin 4B in him, which notoriously is a 500,000 silver object that is insane and basically makes them, like, immortal, practically. Of course, we should... Of course. Hickory, most importantly, however, because he is a Boomerlope. Boomerlopes explode. We've given him a mortar. I've attached a mortar to Hickory, so we can now just, you know, watch him deploy shells. You know, yeah, just what we wanted. A Boomerlope that causes explosions. Perfect. So I've got Amelia and Sam to put their weapons back in the equipment reinforcers. They're just not good enough yet. I think the kinetic pistol is definitely better at the moment than the anti-material rifle, and it's definitely better than what it was before we reinforced it. I think the next thing, the issue that I found with it during the fight there was not the damage, because the damage was lovely. It did very well. It's the range. The range needs to be improved hugely, but once again, it's an issue with steel. We just need more steel. Not only do we need it hauled, we need to put it away, we need it in all the places that we need it, and it's all just going to take some time to accumulate those resources. Most importantly, the hauling bit is going to be the most important. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the map is a bit of a dump, and things aren't particularly getting hauled. Eventually, it'll all get put away in the right places, and it will be there entirely. It'll just take some time, and I have made some more lifters to try to remedy that. I've also made the decision to split the superpowers room in half. We kind of don't need the space to just be there at the moment. I need the space for when we've actually able to make superpower stuff, and I've decided to make this area like dedicated as a crafting area. May's decided to start another comedy show. This one's a little bit more intimate, and everybody's standing around her. You know, just what we want. The sexy demon lady with everyone standing around her, putting up a performance. No questions need to be asked there. Fair enough. And we've only just got the notification for the reaching the wealth requirement for the Arco Nexus. Now, from what I remember of base game Rimworld, the Arco Nexus requires you to have 100,000 colony wealth, I think. Now, as another wealth update, we are currently at 5.9 million wealth. So I think we just about qualify for that. I know I said at the beginning of this series, let's get to 1 billion wealth. We might not be able to get there, I don't think. At the moment, it's steel. Steel is the only thing stopping us from achieving our goals. Now, I could go on a trade caravan mission to see if I can go find some more, but we don't really have a pack animal unless you count General Joris. I don't know, let's have a look and see where we can go. So we could trade with our closest trade partners, which is the Empire, all the way up here. And if we head up there, it will take us 2.7 days. If we take Hickory, who is worth 900,000 silver, we can carry with us an unknown amount. If we also take General Joris and the biblically accurate Joris as well as, let's say, Jezebel, you know, we can take, 1,100 kilograms. Oh, Jezebel on her own can carry 1,100 kilograms. Jesus! That's ridiculous. That's absolutely insane. Why can Jezebel and Benito carry over a ton? That's insane. I mean, we could send these two out on a trading mission just on their own to go get some silver, and it would be worth it. That is incredible. And that's what I'm going to do as well. Send these two out, sell some stuff as well whilst they're out, and that'd be perfect. So as I said earlier, we have hit a brick wall with the reinforcing. So I'm going to take out both of these weapons here, and I'm just going to see what it takes to reinforce everybody else's weapon. For example, Wiggins. Wiggins was the one that I was most interested with in terms of reinforcing, because I don't actually know what it takes to reinforce Wiggins' weapon. Wiggins should be the best colonist we have, but isn't. So, the Skymere's mallet, how do we reinforce it? It takes nothing else other than other Skymere's mallets. Okay, that's not a worry. How do we make Skymere's mallet? So it turns out we can't actually make those mallets yet, unfortunately, so Wiggins, you're kind of stuck with this thing for the time being, unless we have a different weapon that we can give to Wiggins that suits her also very well. We have this Kaio Katana that we've had sitting in storage for ages. Now, Wiggins can use the Kaio Katana and can bond with it as well. Wow, okay. Yeah, Wiggins, equip it. So obviously we must first destroy her first persona-bound weapon and get that out of the way and dealt with. So now let's equip the mallet. So we will gain the joyful trait, so it means that she'll be happy when she kills people. We'll also have the plague magnet, so when we hit someone, they might get the plague. Nice. Fast mover, so we move faster. Stalwart, which means that we might get happy for hitting people. Nice. Frazzled, which is something to do with Mechanator stuff. That's incredible. That is probably the best persona-bound weapon stats I've ever seen. So Wiggins, what do you look like? Oh, that's so cool! Wiggins! That's sick. Not to mention she's absolutely massive as well. That is so cool. So to reinforce it, okay, we have to get another Kaio Katana in order to reinforce it, but it's still significantly better than what we had before, so I'm happy with that. So on that note of sending Jezebel and Benita off to go trade and giving Wiggins her brand new weapon, I think we're going to call the episode here. Unfortunately, we have run out of time for today, and that is going to be how it is. Unfortunately, I couldn't get too much done today because, as I said earlier, we have hit a roadblock for resources. It just takes way too much resources to do anything. And whilst I am stockpiling beyond belief and I'm getting people to work the deep drills as best as I can, we just can't keep up. At the moment, we have 2,000 steel on the map, and that is with Merv doing the deep drilling as well and getting thousands upon thousands every day. So hopefully next episode we can remedy this by taking people on trade caravans, and I think we're just going to end up giving people actual like drill arm bionics and things like that and just getting them to sit on it all the time. So if you have enjoyed any of today's episode or are excited to see the adventures of Benito and Jezebel out in the world, consider liking, subscribing, and make sure you tell your mum about it, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.